It is the crescendo. It is the fever pitch of a topsy-turvy season for the world's quickest motorcycles. We've got our calculators out. We just did some championship math. We've got a ton of drama. You're going to want to stick around for this one. It's going to be a thriller. Welcome back, everybody, to South Georgia Motorsports Park. It is Championship Sunday here, the 2020 Man Cup Finals. You know, it's been a crazy year with the pandemic. These motorcycles have not been out much, but today we've got major drama. Here's the situation. Mitch Brown was the only Top Fuel bike that showed up at Dragway 42 back in July. Because of that, Mitch comes in with a 100-point lead. This event, it's double points. So let's bring you up to speed. Larry McBride qualifies number 1, Dave Vantine qualifies number 2, Mitch Brown qualifies 7th. Here's the scenario. If Mitch Brown wins in round 1, he's going to be your champion. If Larry McBride or Dave Vantine is able to win the event and Mitch Brown goes out in round 1, they'll win the championship. So much at stake. Right now the margin is Larry McBride 83 points back, but long story short, this man, after not being out all year, due to a stellar performance here at Valdosta, has an opportunity to win championship number 21. I'm going to tell you something too. As most of you know, Larry is a great friend of mine. He's like a family member, but I'm giving him his space right now because you would think after 43 years, the jitters might go away. He is keyed up. He is fired up. He's trying to get mentally prepared for eliminations coming up here in just a little bit, but that anxiety never goes away, and it's a good thing because Larry's told me the minute you stop respecting and fearing this motorcycle, that's the minute it can hurt you. He's never lost sight of that. So Ro and Chuck, here we go. Crazy season, crazy day, but you guys still got a chance to win a title today. How exciting is that?
Never thought about it. One race doesn't make a season really, you know, but it is what it is. And y'all close this door.
All the way from Canada. It's so great to see the talented crew chief, Mr. Greg Pollard. Greg, we just did the math. Dave Vantine has got an opportunity to win a championship. If you guys can win first round, win the event, does that make things even more exciting? Or is it just a tainted year?
Well, I think it's going to be, you know, we just want to go out and make a good run. And, hey, you're always trying to win a championship, so it'd be exciting. I mean, it's been a tough year for everyone, and you got a chance to win a championship. You're going to try and do it, that's for sure.
Make the off-season a little sweeter.
Absolutely.
Sam, it is Championship Sunday. By my math, I hope it's right. I hope it's right. If Mitch goes out first round, you, Dave, and Larry all still have chances to win the championship.
That's a fact.
Does that mean anything to you, or is it kind
always
of...
means something to me.
Some people are saying, oh, it was a tainted season, but you forget about that when you look at the trophy, don't you?
Absolutely.
Good luck to you.
A win is a win is a win.
Well, Mitch, it is Championship Sunday. You are the point leader right now. The deficit is tightened up to 83, but nonetheless, you have a chance to go win championship number 1 in Top Fuel. What's your mindset here?
You know, we just are trying to make a good lap like we always are. You know, obviously the championship will happen however it does. We're just trying to get the bike to the finish line under power. We had a decent run on Q2, but it still put 2 holes out before a second, put another hole out down track. If we make a good run and Dave makes a hiccup, we might win a round, but that's all we're trying to do, is make a good run.
It's going to be exciting. Best of luck to you. I hope you guys are loving this, man. We got goosebumps. This is what it's all about. Final day of the season. Quickest and fastest motorcycles in the world. 1,200 horsepower. They run on nitromethane. Somebody's got to win that title. And let me give you my little aside here. My opinion, I believe the championship still does mean an awful lot. Yes, it's only a 2-race season, but trust me, when we look back 3 years from now, we're not going to say championship with an asterisk. The championship counts, just like it counts in the NFL, MLB. The Dodgers won it this year. The Lakers won it this year. It's not an asterisk year when we look back in time, I do believe. Mr. McBride, I have one question. After 43 years, did the jitters ever go away?
Nope, and I think when they do, you need to hang your hat up.
Well said.
So,
Good luck today.
thank you, Jack, and thanks for coming out, man. We really appreciate everything Cycledrag does, and make sure you don't make my daughters mad today.
I'll try not to. I got to tell you this, too. It's a very emotional day for Larry Spiderman McBride. Last night, we got the unfortunate news that Keith Adams, Kibo, who's Larry's childhood friend, passed away. And this man was instrumental way back in the days with the Alan Johnson, Winston Top Fuel team, a great close friend of Larry. And now Larry, he feels a little bit helpless to get that news 1,000 miles from his home down here in Georgia. But it's all about blocking it out, putting on his game face, and concentrating on riding one of these dangerous and volatile motorcycles. But nonetheless, Larry McBride dedicating it all to Kibo Adams. R.I.P. Kibo. We miss you already.
Records for those classes and see how closely any given motorcycle.
Well, if there wasn't enough drama and intrigue today, take a look at this. Hey, you may be saying, that's not a supercharger. You're right. This is the very first race in the Man Cup era that the turbos are allowed to run with the Top Fuel bikes. This is something we've seen throughout history. Steve Rice once won a Top Fuel championship on a funny bike, but this is the very first Man Cup race where the turbos have been inserted into the mix. Tommy Saxon will line up against Larry McBride in round one. Remember, guys, Larry goes out and smokes the tire. You know this turbo bike is going to be there. The Top Fuel bikes have them covered on performance, but the turbo guys know that when it comes to consistency, hairdryer may have the advantage. Mr. Vantine, sir, I did a little quick math. By my math, you win this race, you win the championship. To make things a little more exciting today.
I like it. Jack's good at math, so we're going to go with Jack's math.
We wish you all the best.
Thank you.
So for just a few minutes, we're going to have a moment of silence, and then we'll go into our prayer. Lord, we thank you for everyone that's making this event possible, everyone that's taking part. And Father, most of all, we ask that you guide these bikes down the track.
And we begin with a potential championship decider. Vantine smokes the tire. Mitch Brown on a pass on his way to a championship and his first 5-second run, 5:98 in the title. The celebration has begun. 5:98, 5:98, 5:98. Wow, how about it, guys? How about that 5:98? You hopped it up. Where'd it come from?
Well, just learning what we learned the last 2 days here testing, and we kind of really did some late night homework and put the numbers together with some help from some friends here, Larry McBride being one of them, Sam Wills another, and we thank everybody so much because these guys have worked really hard to get that number right there.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
The first 5-second run for Mitch Brown. Congratulations. Wow, what a pass when they needed it most. Man, those guys worked so hard over the offseason, and they put it on the track right there. Like I told you, anything can happen in Top Fuel. For Vantine, disappointing way to end the season, but you know those guys will be back better than ever. Rob Garcia's turbo bike was unable to make the call. That's why he had a bye.
Lucky for Sam, he had a bye run there. This racetrack continues to throw these guys some curveballs. Very, very tricky track that we're dealing with here this weekend, huh?
What we were trying, since we did have the competition bye, this was our next round's tune-up. We found the limit of the clutch and the limit of the track for the morning. Exactly what we're looking for. We're swapping motors. We'll be right back.
Helps to have that bye run. What an advantage. And let me tell you this, guys, championships aside, everybody wants to win this race. Everybody wants to go out with a victory. See what happens. And this is a historic run because this will be the very first Nitro versus Turbo Top Fuel motorcycle run in Man Cup history. Here comes Tommy Saxon. Tommy's going to need a Hail Mary because in the other lane is the 20-time champion, the #1 qualifier at 570, 260 miles an hour, Larry Spiderman McBride. We talked to Spiderman moments ago. He saw Mitch Brown's win. He knows the championship is out of reach. He's very happy for Mitch. He sent his congratulations. In fact, Larry is such a generous competitor that he loaned Mitch his supercharger. Wow, look at this, guys. We're going to have to assist with the pushing. This track is so heavily glued. Many crew chiefs having problems with the drag radial type prep here this weekend at South Georgia Motorsports Park. The championship is out of reach, but all that matters right now for the uber competitive McBride is winning this event and potentially setting a new record. Spider-Man out in front, putting some body English on it. Top end of the racetrack, 577. Larry McBride takes the win, and he advances to round number 2.
A 77 gets her done.
That's all we needed.
Team McBride going on.
Let's take another look from the grandstands. Nice straight pass for McBride, 255 miles an hour. Go on board now as Larry now's a 105.60 foot, 267 to 330, 387 to the 8th mile at 207 miles an hour. Let's check in with Team Mitch Brown. And as I said before, that 2.1 supercharger is borrowed from Larry McBride. What a magnanimous gesture by the Spider-Man, a supercharger that helped defeat his championship hopes. And one problem we've seen all weekend is teams blistering and chunking tires, perhaps due to the glue.
And you know Shane Aberchesi has not been immune to this problem either. Let me show you some of his throwaway tires.
The Top Fuel bikes seem to be enduring it, but it's disastrous for the turbo machines.
When you're going upwards of 200 miles an hour, you want that tire absolutely perfect.
Earlier in the weekend, McBride was presented with his 20th championship title, the 2019 crown.
We really appreciate y'all supporting the Man Cup. I'd like to thank Jay Reagan for what he's done. Great job that he's done this weekend. We're real happy. And we're going to raise hell in 2021. So y'all come to the Man Cup race. I'm going to lay some numbers down. I hope I'm going to do it for you here in about 30 minutes. I'm going to try to lay you one down.
Larry, what do you got, man?
I don't tell you right now. Pretty darn good picture in it.
How about it? That'll look good in the wall of Newport News, huh?
Oh yes, absolutely.
That's number 20. Feeling like you could get 21 this weekend?
We're sure going to try. We're struggling a little bit, but we're going to sure come up here and try to see what we can do about it.
Nice photo there by Tom McCarthy. And don't forget the 20-time champion's got a brand new set of wheelie bars and a longer chassis he's trying out here this weekend. And just like that, it's time for round number 2 of Top Fuel. Single elimination, guys. Who's gonna win it all? We're in for a thrilling finish to the 2020 season.
They don't want to flatten a radial tire. Motorcycles launch. Some of you have who are hearing my
Think
voice.
Sam Wills is gonna win this whole thing?
Yeah.
Good call.
Make sure the track is right. But ideally, the track surface is right. We're having a nice thin layer, not quite translucent hand tools, so they don't go down the score.
Mitch, we gotta call you 5-second, Mitch. Congratulations, you finally did it. I know as long as you've been after this, that has to be very fulfilling.
Very fulfilling for the whole team. You know, obviously you've been along the whole journey, Jack, and everybody notices how hard our team works between rounds all the time. So super excited for Dennis Bradley for all he's put into the thing to finally get the 5-second pass. And I wish I could have been with the team at the start line, but we all loved it. It was awesome.
Congratulations. Now you got a chance for a hat trick. Could you imagine 5-second run, win the race, win the championship? Could it get any better than
It
that?
would be nice to go home for the winter break if we could run 2 5s in a row, because that would give me confidence that we have a good setup and we can start doing the micro tuning like Steve was just telling me and Sam always tells me, and that would be a good place to go for the winter.
See if we can do it. 5-second Mitch. Everybody wants to go out with a win, and that certainly includes this team. What's your name, sir?
LaShawn Norman, and this is Cycledrag.com.
You the man. Mr. Vantine, hate to see you in the shorts here for round number 2, but hey, that's drag racing. What happened in round 1?
Well, you know, I'm told that we ran through some oil and just hit the tire. I mean, put a fresh motor, new belts in last night. You know, we lost that pulley and knocked the belts off the thing. So we put a new fresh motor in it, new belts, so maybe a little more, make them go round. And, you know, I don't know, we zipped the tire. Mitch went to a fine 598, his first 5, so congratulations, Mitch Brown. You know, so he's in the club, you know, and I congratulate him for that. So, hit the tire.
Very sorry about your luck, man. If I put you on the hot seat, who's winning this race?
Big bikes.
Of which one?
Top Fuel.
Got good news.
Overall?
Larry is going with Larry. Hard to bet against Larry, right?
Well, he's my teammate.
There you go.
And he builds my stuff.
And he builds your
No, I mean, straight up, these are all good guys. I love Sam, I love Mitch, and Larry. But let's face it, Larry's a 20-time champion. I mean, you just got to go with that. No disrespect to the other guys. You know, Mitch is bad. Sam's obviously been out here forever. But, you know, Larry's
definitely 22.
record's a record.
Should be a great show.
Thank you.
All right, my chief starter on the starting line is calling for teams to come forward. We are getting hand signals here for, looks like Sam is going to come up here and roll into the right lane.
And we begin with a battle of teammates as Sam Wills and Mitch Brown are set to face off. Mitch is looking for an upset victory over his mentor.
He won this morning. Back on. Spoke with authority.
race. We're bar to bar. It looks like a couple of bracket bikes. 609 to 610. Mitch Brown takes the win. What a race.
609. How about it, guys? How about it?
Yeah.
Wow, that was a drag race.
That was a great race with Sam.
Side by side.
All the way.
How about it? Congratulations. My goodness, congratulations to Mitch Brown. The weekend just keeps getting sweeter. What a race between Sam and Mitch. My goodness, congratulations, Mitch.
Let's take another look at what has to be one of the closest races in Top Fuel motorcycle history. 123 to 121 off the line with Sam with a 0.02 of a second advantage. Sam's better to 60 feet, 105 to 112, but Mitch Brown brought on the back half. 609.3 beats a 610. 232 miles an hour for Mitch, 229 miles an hour for Sam.
2020 Man Cup Top Fuel Championship. Boy, did these guys step up big on race day. They qualified 7th, and now they're going on to the final. Congratulations, Team Mitch Brown. Wow.
So the Spider-Man needs a 609.2 or better for lane choice. He's got a buy rhyme here. We'll see what the crew opts to do with the tune-up. Good solid pass. 593, 249. Oh, the good news is Larry McBride gains lane choice. The bad news is they just took out a set of pistons. The Spider-Man did say he was going to lean up the bike for this round. That may have been too lean. Set of pistons, by the way, about $750. Certainly not an inexpensive sport.
Solid run in the 590s for the Spider-Man, Larry McBride. He earns lane choice going into the final. It will be Larry McBride, Mitch Brown, one-on-one with the World Finals event title at stake.
Top sportsman racers from all over the country are here competing. Here's an old school KZ versus a Hayabusa. Plenty of this action for you to check out on the Cycledrag YouTube channel as the sun sets and we get set for what will be an epic Top Fuel final. Larry Spider-Man McBride and Mitch Brown. And I'll tell you, it's cooling down and there's a lot of work to be done back in the Spider-Man pits. But this team, as always, is up for the challenge. Here comes a brand new motor. Charlie Lynch, Roland Stewart, the whole crew is working hard. They want to end this crazy season with a victory. Larry's brother Steve McBride, the young man Chuck Stewart, all hard at work.
Yeah, 3 of them.
And I'll tell you, they're keeping a close watch on the weather because it is really cool now.
Greg, number 1.
Thank you. What's your name?
David.
Where are you from?
Valdosta, Georgia.
And you work as a medic here?
Yes, sir.
I appreciate you keeping all these racers safe. Do you watch Cycledrag?
Every day it's on.
Thank you.
You will see in the sport. You know NHRA, Top Fuel? This is our version of it. This is how we do it. This is how we party. Here we go. Stop and smell the nitro and listen to the music. It's Top Fuel.
Mitch Brown breaks. McBride's on a pass. Top end of the racetrack. New speed record. 567, 265. Wow, Steve, 265. 265.
Ain't too shabby.
Does that make...
Do better than that, but that's good enough.
Wow. Does that make 2020 feel a little better?
Good job, Steve. Good job, buddy.
That's a good way to put her away, huh?
That's the way you end the day.
And yet again, we are proud to present to you history here on Cycledrag. Let's take another look at the record-breaking run. Larry nails a 104.60 foot time, 261 to 330, 379 eighth at 209 miles an hour, a 481,000 foot, and 567 265 gets it done. What's your name?
Thank you, Jack. Rocket Rex Motorcycle Man, East Tennessee.
There you go. Thank you so much. You watch Cycledrag?
Much.
He did it once again, ladies and gentlemen. #1 qualifier, race winner, and Larry, the fastest you have ever been, 265 miles an hour. What a wild ending to what has been a crazy season.
Oh God, it was been crazy. This whole week was kind of crazy too, being here, being as rusty as we was. But this whole year, be glad to get 2020 behind us because it's not been a good year. So hope they'll get all this COVID mess under control and we won't have to be fighting that stuff, and we can continue on with our racing like we like we normally do.
Talking about your 265, someone was telling me that you had a little bit of a scare down there, that it was so fast, you were hanging on so tight, you hit a bump?
Well, what it was is, normally when I ride is, you go through, you kind of relax on the bike and kind of just let it do what it wants to do, right? Well, I knew in the left lane there was a little dip down there, about 400 feet from the traps, after the traps. So I was still pretty tense because it went pretty fast, so I didn't relax like I normally would have a little bit, when I say relax, just be loose on the bike, kind of let the bike do its deal. And I still had, a pretty good grip. I don't think hit that little dip, and when it did, I kind of just went down like that. When I did, went whoop, blipped the bike. So yeah, it definitely definitely put a little scare. It was really nothing but it was scared some other people, not so much me. It's just like, whoa, don't be doing that, man. You don't need to take off again.
You don't want to
stop, son. You're not trying to go.
Not after going 265.
Yeah.
The changes to the motorcycle. Were you happy with how everything performed? Still a little bit of a learning curve?
We are. We're still on a major learning curve. The bike showed a ton of potential. Unfortunately, the racetrack was great. Don't get me wrong. Track's gonna love South Georgia, and they did a good job. It just wasn't quite good enough for us down low to put a ton of power into it for us. So we was running the thing pretty light down low, and then of course we was on out and down track at 330. We was really shoving the coals to it. So it it did some great back half. That thing is unbelievable. I think I run 210 on that pass. In the 8th mile, it was either 210 or 209, something like that. I had a couple 212s this weekend, and then went 265 out the back door. And it had, we'd already run, 260, and the thing had run 255. And this bike here is completely different than Blue. Blue always front halved really well and never did really back half like it needed to, but it was still a bad hombre. If I could put Blue's front half to this one's front half, the 40s would be like clockwork. So, but we've got some great stuff on here and some great people working with us. I work with Bill Miller a ton. He's been real good to me and Steve. We did hurt some motors. We made a couple of little mistakes. If we can ever figure out why we're killing, we took some pistons out, and you know why, but you're now trying to get the application to it to stop it. that's what we're trying to do right now, because we can do that. I mean, the thing will make even more power, you know, on the big end. So I'm not saying I want to go any faster. I'd like to take the thing and be able to, you know, run 540s at, you know, 200. That would be perfect.
I don't believe you anymore.
Yeah, that ain't going to happen.
You've been telling me that for too long. I think you told me 20 years ago, yeah, I want to run 5s at 220. Now 265. You just keep getting faster and faster.
Well,
man.
you know, God, this thing, this thing just runs some big mile an hour. I mean, it
really does.
It's pretty incredible.
Did that feel like the fastest pass of your career?
Oh, there's no question. I knew it was.
Wow.
Or it felt like the fastest pass.
Wow.
Because the first thing I was wanting to know down top end, how fast did I just run? Of course, you know, they didn't know.
Sure.
The guy that was down there didn't know, so I had to wait. And of course, when Steve and them come up, and I said, Steve, that had to be faster than 264. He said it was, went 265. Well, dang. But, you know, and I don't know if there's any, I don't think you can feel the difference. It's just sometimes the things seem a little faster when you have a little bit more, if you got a little bit more action moving around. And the thing got pretty loose, you know, because we was really, like they pouring the coals to it out in the middle, and, you know, the thing did a little waggle, and you had a little wheel spin out there. So, but buddy, when he got through that part, hold the heck on, because it was one hell of a ride. You know, and I tell everybody, going that fast is not the hardest part stopping.
Well, congratulations once again. And the final thing I gotta ask you here is, it's been such a tough year for everybody. We got the terrible news last night that your good friend, great buddy, Kibo, unfortunately passed away. And I know that was on your mind. And you said this morning, you said, I'm gonna go out and win this race for him. And
Absolutely.
You did.
He's standing tall right now for us. I tell you, it's I'm still in disbelief. You know, he was I don't know, he was a very, very dear friend of mine, and we were real close. And you know, he was at the shop, at my shop on a regular basis, and you know, he's helped me through my career, worked with me on fuel system stuff, engine stuff. Very, very intelligent guy. You know, he worked with Kenny Bernstein for years on the Top Fuel car with Ron Armstrong, and of course then he left and went to work with Alan Johnson, and you know, worked with Alan Johnson and Blaine, you know, before Blaine got killed in his accident. And then Selzy started driving the car, and you know, then you know, Keith's still there working, and you know, he was assistant crew chief with Alan. And then they got the funny car, and then Kibo was actually the crew chief on the funny car, which he never really liked. That's one of the reasons he left the deal. He just really didn't like the funny car. And of course he did some other stuff. He did some, you know, built several other cars, did a car that Troy Buff drove for a while. And then, you know, he decided to retire, and he just came back home and really ain't done nothing. Comes down to the shop. He was coming to some races with me occasionally, and tried to get him to come this weekend, man. And then I get this news, and it's absolutely devastating news. And he's been in my heart and on my mind all day, all night last night, hard to sleep, and just, you know, thinking about him, thinking about his dad, and you know, his dad's in his 90s, and Kibo kind of took care of him, you know, was there helping him. You know, his dad's still pretty mobile, and you know, no problems. So I'm still in disbelief. So we get back home and you know, see what they're going to do, because now you don't even know what's going to happen with this COVID. You know, I mean, you know, can you have a funeral? Can you have, you know, we don't even know. So it's just a shame.
I'll tell you what, if this was his funeral, I know him, and I know how he is. He'd be so happy that you won this race for him. That's what he would want you to do. I remember first time I ever met him, I think was Atlanta 20 years ago. He was down there with you guys, watching you run that big speed, and he was just over the moon. He loved it. It was great seeing him at your shop, and you really you paid tribute to a great friend today. So
well, it's going to be. I said I was going to win it for him, and I did. And I know he's happy, and you know, if he was still with us, he would have been one of the first phone calls that I got. So unfortunately, I didn't get that phone call, and never will get that phone call again. So
he's got the best seat in the house, so he's smiling from above, man.
He's got it, man. We just got to pick our heads up and, you know, pray for his family, and it's all in God's hands. Ain't nothing we can do. So
well, congratulations,
Godspeed, Kibo.
Amen, Kibo. We miss you, and congratulations to you guys on a great event here, pulling together 2020.
It was awesome to come out for the first event. You know, all year. You know, been sitting at home hiding from the COVID, not going nowhere, and being able to come down here to this race and with a completely new setup, and so and to go out there and do as well as we did. We worked hard. We got here on Monday, so we've been here for a week. So I'm actually really ready to go home. Not only am I mentally drained, I'm physically drained, and you know, when it's all done, you went like, wow, I'm tired. And you know, go back, and then, you know, with what happened to Kibo makes it even twice as bad. But I'll be glad to get back home with my little dogs and eat some smoothies. Me and my dog, we sit there and eat smoothies. He wait till the bottom of the glass, and he starts licking on me. Give me the rest, man. So I do miss that.
Awesome,
and my
man.
other two little ones I miss. And
there you go.
Of course, my wife, my grandkids, and my daughters. I'm a very lucky man. Got a very close knit family that we all communicate. So it's quite a feat. So I'm a very lucky man.
Yes, you are. They're wonderful people. Well, congratulations. He's victorious. Ends the year with a new speed record and a win. Larry Spiderman McBride. Well, thank you guys so much for watching. And take a look at this. The Spider-Man's already back at his shop, hard at work. The work never ends. But he's victorious. And if you liked that video, there's plenty more coming. Make sure to subscribe. Make sure to click on one of these and keep an eye out for that Jimmy the Hulk Brantley first fire-up video. It's coming soon. You guys got to see this bike. Don't miss it. Turn your notifications on.